Hey guys, it's Matt Lee with My Motors Max. Today I want to test out some different exhausts, some headers, some mufflers. We're going to test out how loud the stock muffler from the factory is that came with the engine right here. We're going to test it out without having any muffler or header at all, which is not good for your engine. You need to have back pressure, but for testing purposes, we're going to try that out. We're going to try out the straight pipe header, which is really loud. Then we're going to test out the Robertson's torque tube, which I do enjoy. Nice sound, nice torque. I do remember that on my last engine. We're also going to test out the Super Trap disc muffler clone, and unfortunately I was going to try it without the resonator that I bought with it to show the difference there, but I can't find the short J-bolt, so we're just going to have to leave the resonator on there. Believe it or not, this resonator helps dramatically with cutting down on the sound, but you can actually adjust the sound and how loud and quiet and the flow by removing and adding discs. So this comes with 12 discs, but I like to run 6 to quiet it down. We're going to test out how loud that is versus the stock muffler. That engine is not like that at all. But for testing purposes, we got to do it. Gets a little bit away from it though. So next, guys, we're going to try out the header pipe that's kind of a straight pipe but goes off. This is more for a go-kart. I learned the hard way out on the river that it's not really right for me. If you're out on the river with these mud motors, you want the exhaust to go pointing backwards behind you. But for a go-kart, mini bike, they work great for certain people. But I've also noticed that I wasn't getting the torque that I wanted. But nonetheless, let's show you the sound and how loud it is. so now we have the disc muffler on this side header, and it's pretty heavy, so if you were going to do this on a go-kart or a dirt bike, it could break that weld maybe over time, so you'd probably want to brace this, but for testing purposes, we're going to go ahead and try it out.
This is 12 discs, by the way, so we can actually quiet down even more. You'll notice how much the engine's bouncing and rattling. The torque tube, it likes the torque tube so much, these engines, that they're smooth. They don't rattle near as much. These already rattle and vibrate a lot being single cylinder engines, but this one really, this tube makes it really bounce. Let's see now. Look what that exhaust, look what that muffler with 12 discs did. It was in the 90s at idle. Right by it, it's in the 90s. Now let's rev it up. Rattles so much I'm gonna have to hold it down.
You can actually have almost, and you can run 6 on almost an 18 horsepower engine, but to be safe, I don't want to restrict it too much. I like to run 6. But we're even going to take off 2 more and try 4 after this to test out the difference. I've removed 6 discs off of this Super Trap disc muffler, and there was 12 from the factory, but I'm going to run 6 and see what it sounds like.
We're into the 70s now, over here, about 3 feet away. Get right by it. In the 80s, that's great. Now, it's also running smooth, it's not bouncing around. But let's try it with some drum, just in case.
Alright guys, altogether I've removed 8, so I only have 4 discs altogether on this Super Trap disc muffler.
The one thing already I'm noticing is the engine's bouncing a little bit more again. Like it's not liking it, you know, like it's restricted. Interesting. Not much quieter than 6. It's bouncing around a lot. The 6 seemed to be a lot smoother for the engine. Interesting. I don't know if it's much quieter, I'm not going to lie. And you are possibly restricting your engine too much. So I like the 6, but we'll keep going. All right, next we have the Robertson's torque tube. Pretty loud. Deeper grumble, but let's see if we can quiet it down with the disc muffler, huh? Wow. Well, let's get closer to it. That's pretty good. That's an idle. We're in the 70s. Still in the 80s, 88. Let's throttle it up. Notice how the engine's not shaking and moving around. It likes that. Likes the back pressure. Impressive. All right, let's take 6 discs off and let's make it even quieter and see what we can get here. That's 6 discs. Alright, now we got 8 of these discs removed, so we'll only have 4 discs on this Super Trap disc muffler, which is on the Robertson torque tube, and we're going to see how quiet this gets. Now the engine's not rattling. That's pretty wild. That's pretty good. About 86 right by it. See what it sounds like at full throttle here.